Good morning, everybody. Trevor here with Life-Based Solutions and Carney CrossFit for Fitness Fridays. I think most of you that are probably watching this are familiar with me. Hopefully, you've watched a few of these. But if you are brand new to our Fitness Fridays, I am Trevor Brown with Life-Based Solutions. My company I'm a part of is a nutrition software company where we do private nutrition coaching, custom nutrition plans, and then we also help other businesses scale and manage their nutrition programs. But on Fridays, I am here wearing a little bit of a different hat. I have also been a gym owner for the last 12 years. And so we get together on Fridays to talk mostly fitness with a little bit of nutrition sprinkled in. So some simple things to hopefully motivate you and get you started heading in the right direction, just improving your overall health and wellness. So if you have questions, you can drop a comment, maybe tag Trevor Brown in that comment, and I'll be sure to reach out to you. Or you can always shoot me an email at trevor@lifebasedsolutions.com. So this morning, we're going to keep the fitness stuff fairly simple. Last week, we did a workout that had some lightweight dumbbells with it and how to move through a variety of ranges of motion and scale back or increase the difficulty of the workout so that somebody that might be of any age, but up into their 70s or 80s and brand new to fitness could still do the same version of a workout as somebody that might be a college level athlete. So we're going to build with that same concept in mind on some core work today for people. So one of the questions that we get a lot is, how do I increase core strength, or I want abs, or I just feel like I have a weak core? And my wife, actually, she's been with me for 12 years at the gym. She just finished up her postpartum certification as we just had our third kiddo. So it's something that her and I just recently have been talking about a whole lot. And there's a lot of overlap with the things that we have been coaching in the gym with our classes and personal training clients anyway. But I think it's been a really unique perspective, even for me, to get some of the feedback and insight from her. So we're going to bring you just a few things today to hopefully help you increase your core strength. So number one, let's start with this. One of the questions we get all the time from a nutrition coaching standpoint, or even just from the gym standpoint, is, Trev, I want abs. I want to be able to see my stomach muscles. I want to lose this little bit of fat just right around my belly. I wish I had a magic answer for you. I always, in a fun way, kind of joke with our clients and tell them this. I love my mom to death. My mother's 75 years old. And one of the things she tells me is, Trev, I just want to lose this little bit of arm flab. And so, Mom, I can't have you do push-ups and bicep curls and just lose the arm flab. That's not quite how it works. So as much as we want, we can't just do 1,000 sit-ups and lose the fat around our belly. Your fat is going to come off proportionally all across your body. So when we do body composition scans on our in-body, for example, we're able to tell exactly where everybody's carrying their fat, including their subcutaneous or their visceral fat. And that's the fat that surrounds your internal organs, is your visceral fat. And so most people carry fat in their trunk from shoulders to waist. But there is fat in the arms and the legs and other parts of the body. So let's say that you have 30 pounds of fat in your trunk, you have 5 pounds of fat in your legs, and 3 pounds of fat in the arms. Just throwing those numbers out there. If you were to lose 10% of your body fat, you would lose 10% all over your body. So 3 pounds in the trunk, half a pound in the legs, and a third of a pound in the arms is kind of how that works. So keep that in mind. And if you want to get those abs, I would say that abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. And there's a lot of truth to that, right? You can't outwork a bad diet, but you also can't get where you want to go without mixing in some of that fitness as well. So the core, or your abdominal muscles, are still a muscle that needs to be trained and worked and take to a level of soreness if you want to get those really defined abs. But you're never going to see them if you don't get your diet in check. On that note, let's give you a couple core strengthening exercises this morning. So the first one I'm going to give you, and I'll kind of tilt my camera here. I'm just sitting in a chair, right? And so number one, I want you to always be aware. Remember when I was growing up as a kid, my mom would always tell me, Trev, don't sit like this, throw your shoulders back, flex your belly muscles. So one of the simplest things that you can do, which is when you're walking around every day or in general, is to keep your tummy muscles engaged. So think about sucking your belly button back to your spine and just walking around, muscles flexed, big and tall all the time. Just improving your posture, right? Keeping your spine neutral as though you were standing there will do wonders for your core. Oftentimes, like I work at the computer a lot, I'll find myself sitting like this. So it's a really good tip for you. Another way, if you find yourself sitting down a whole lot, is to grab one of these Swiss balls and sit in it. Just that little bit of balance, right? To sit upright in this ball, it's going to help you with your core strength. And it's a lot easier to kind of force yourself to sit up. It's harder to kind of slouch in the ball when you're working on the computer. So these balls can be a great asset to you. All right. So some little tips. You can find a chair or a bench or something to sit on. But I want you to start by just sitting here and holding your legs up off the ground. Now you can balance without your arms, kind of balance on your butt, find that balance point. Or if you want, keep your hands on the handles, or if you have a chair without those arm rests, put your hands down here. But I want you to pick up your feet, right, and hold. And the farther up off the ground you get, the harder this is going to be. Now you want to increase the difficulty level. You can do that and extend your legs straight out in front of you, right? You can do this on the floor as well, by the way. The key is just balancing on the butt. If you need to keep your hands on the floor or your hands on the chair for balance, it's a great thing to do. Okay, upgrade. I'm going to give you a couple more things to do here. So a traditional plank, bear with me here, guys. A traditional plank, right, can be done on all fours, keeping the abs engaged, right? We don't want to have butt in the air. We never want to drop the hips in a nice tight plank, okay? You can do this on the hands or on your forearms. And just go until you're pretty tired and you got to take a break. It might be 10 or 15 seconds at first, and you might increase that time. Do this every day for a few sets, maybe setting a time goal each day to improve. The world record plank, by the way, is over 8 hours. It's really hard for me to imagine that, but look it up. I'm being serious. It's pretty crazy. So we can hold a plank on the hands or on the forearms. We do some things like bird dogs. We can go on our hands and knees, right? A tabletop position for our back, and we're going to start by extending one leg back and one arm forward. Very slow, controlled, and then going the other side. And we can do a set of 10 on each side. What you're trying to avoid here is any twisting or turning of the body. You're trying to leave your hips nice and level, parallel to the floor. Now you want to upgrade it. We're going to do this on the toes instead. And you could start by just extending an arm and alternating. And if you're really wanting to get crazy, you can extend an arm and a leg and then put that toe back on the ground. But start on all fours, on your knees and on your hands. Don't start maybe on the toes quite right when you're brand new. So just some little things here to build that core strength. And keep in mind, abs are made in the kitchen, but mixing in the exercise is always going to help out. And one little nutrition tip for you on the way out this morning: protein. Protein is the key to building muscle, right? They are the building blocks. 20 amino acids, they make up a complete protein. Those are like the bricks for a building, right? So we're always aiming for complete protein sources. Complete protein sources would be typically anything that had a mother. So I say that with a smile on my face because it's meats, it's eggs, anything that came from an animal, right? That is something that's going to be a complete protein source. And there are other complete protein sources. That's just an easy way to remember that, right? Plants are not complete protein sources, so you need a very wide variety to get that same effect, right? And aim to eat protein at every meal in some capacity. We always teach our clients eat proteins, carbs, and fats together, but women especially struggle with protein. So we find this a lot with our people. So aim for a real protein source, something that is found in nature with one ingredient, like ham, chicken, fish, eggs, something along those lines. At least your main 3 meals during the day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Real protein sources at your main meals. For a snack, if you need to grab a protein source or use a supplement, it's okay. What we want to avoid is doing shakes and protein powders and pre-made protein sources that are artificial in nature at your main meals. Those are reserved for snacks. All right, guys, I hope that helps. Eat protein, build muscle, get those abs. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.